The kids that end up getting in trouble for one reason or another, you know, they need some guidance and help with how to get along in life, how to better themselves in that. For a variety of reasons, maybe some of the families weren't really didn't have a lot of resources and help with raising their kids. Every kid has a unique set of needs and a unique set of talents and skills and strengths, so you have to play to that, and I think you have to be aware and observe and figure that out and kind of get a little different recipe for each kid. I have to take consolation in the fact that I think, you know, as the kids go through our program here, that maybe we're planting the seeds and maybe it's not going to grow while they're here. But I've had so many kids call me up later and go, that's what you guys were talking about. Now I understand that, you know, they've made something of their lives because of that. Well, there is beauty here. There's a lot to do here, that kind of thing. And people might think, well, I've got problems living in the big city. I'll move here and it's all going to go away. Well, people's problems follow them wherever they go. I mean, people's personalities don't change because of where they live. It's one of those things, you know, environmental solutions to your personal problems aren't going to happen. So we're good at making connections, developing relationships with kids, and that's what it's all about. If you can make that connection, if they can get, if you can get in tune with who they are and they learn to trust you, I think that's huge. So that's where you start, you know. If you don't have that, it's tough to do the rest of it. It's tough right now. To be honest, we're down in numbers, and I think the politics of the state have been such that they're not making the referrals that they used to. I mean, we used to be full. When you develop a positive peer culture with 14 kids, it's a very powerful tool. You know, kids listen to other kids more than they do adults anyway. So if you can grow that positive peer culture, you're in business. And right now we just have 7 kids, and it's a little tougher, you know. Our state is going through one of those times right now where the oil business and the extraction business is really taking a downturn, and they're talking about budget cuts across the state, and that's where our kids come from. They come from the Department of Family Services and from our courts, and when there isn't money available to treat kids, you know, we don't get the referrals, and everybody's getting cut back, and you know, politics is a tough deal. And you know, I get it, you know, if there isn't enough money to go around, where do you cut, you know? I just know that, you know, you could pay now with these kids and invest in the kids now, or you're going to pay later, and they're going to wind up in jails or other kinds of problems later on in life, and it'll cost later. So I don't know what the answer is, but it's kind of sad to struggle like we have been lately. We've been working with sex offenders here, and I don't even call them that anymore. I think it's a bad label. But we've been working with kids with sexual problems for many years, and you know, I think over the hundreds and hundreds of kids that we've dealt with, we've maybe only had 2 that we're aware of that have committed other sexual acts. People need to understand, you know, we're not talking about adult pedophiles here. Adolescents, their sexuality is a moving target. You know, what you have now and what they grew up with is not necessarily what's going to happen later on in life. And if they get help with those kinds of things now, they won't develop into those kind of negative images that people have about adult pedophiles, you know. But these kids are, you know, most of them are under-socialized, they're experimenting, you know, they're not evil, bad kids, you know. I think kids understand that, you know, that those aren't good things to do, and they feel ashamed, and they start dealing with that and getting honest, and they're able to set up a difference between that was me then and this is me now. Some of the things have happened nationally about, you know, these laws that have been passed about getting kids to register for being a sex offender, and the steps that they have to go through is really counterproductive and really harmful to these kids. And I think it's just a matter of educating the general populace of what these kids are, and they're not what they think they are, you know. So.